We got the 65 back on the lift, and we got some stuff to talk about with this car. We got some issues. This car started having issues, well, when we put the 347 in, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So when we put this setup in the 65, we started having issues. To start with, it was like a, how would you describe it? Almost like a, like a clutch rattle, kind of, is what it kind of felt like. It was mainly only in fourth gear. And then as time went on, it just started to get louder until it almost sounded like there were possibly a tooth or two missing on a gear in the transmission. And then it got to where it was doing it in third and sometimes a little bit in fifth. So I was like, all right, transmission's screwed up. I'm just gonna go ahead and send it to handling. So Andrew Handling calls me and says, man, Pop's got this thing tore apart. Banging Bob, if you guys don't know, tore this thing apart and said there's nothing wrong with it. For this thing to rattle like that, there's got to be another issue. So it's either going to be in the clutch disc, more than likely, or in the pilot bearing. So I guess we could go up there, take a look at the pilot bearing real quick and see what's going on. But just to, you know, let you guys kind of understand, it was a rattle that sounded like the transmission was coming apart. So there we go. It looks, yeah, it's a little more recessed than this, but I don't really know that it matters a lot. But either way, we're gonna swap this pilot bearing out. Tell you what we'll do, we'll go ahead and throw the bell housing up here. We'll get that thing indexed and see. Look, it's bent. Damn, I bent the shit out of that. You know what, man? That may very well be the issue. You can see a big dent right there. I think I messed that pilot bearing up when I hit it. We have done this 2 or 3 different times, and we have come up with, this time we're at basically 12 thousandths total run out, 180 out from each other, which divided by 2 would give us basically 6 thousandths, right? I feel like we're good here. I really do. This bell housing and this setup has been in the Calypso from day one behind this engine, and I never heard these issues before, so I don't think that's an issue. I just can't trust this gauge. In other words, I'm not gonna go out and buy $100 dowel pins because of this, of 1,000ths. You know what I mean? So
$12 gauge.
Yeah, for a $12 dial indicator. Guys, that's where we're at with this. I think we're good. You know, if we'd got some wacky ass crazy number, you know, consistently 20 thousandths off or something, I probably would look into it a little deeper. But I think we're okay. I think the pilot bearing was the main issue. We will find out, and I may eat my words. If we put this thing back in and it makes a roaring noise with the new drive shaft, new pilot bearing, you know, recentering the clutch and everything else, we may have to dig a little deeper. Basically, we got to get some new bolts for the bell housing because I lost them. Don't know where they're at. We'll get some new bolts, bolt all this stuff up, and hopefully our transmission will be in maybe within the next couple of days. We'll go ahead, stab this thing in. And guys, we ordered the fuel system for the car. It is ordered. It should start. Actually, the tank should be here tomorrow. So here's what we got. We'll go through it once we get all the parts. I'll show you guys, but we got an air motive fuel tank. And we got all the A in line, 2 regulators, 1 for the carburetor and 1 for nitrous. I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm using some regulators that aren't really meant to be used for EFI pump to carbureted setup. So we're gonna see how that goes. It may bite me in the ass, but I wanna try it because if this works, this could save you guys tons of money, tons of money. I'm talking, let's see, it was $140 for the 2 regulators. And if you had to have 2 regulators, step down regulators, like what I would probably have to do if this doesn't work, we're talking about $700 for those 2 regulators. So we're gonna see if this works. Either way, if it doesn't work, I'm out 140 bucks and I still gotta buy $700 worth of regulators. And I know everybody says, well, why don't you just go, you know, sump tank and, you know, external fuel pump. Guys, I just want to keep it nice and neat and clean. And EFI fuel pumps are great on carbureted setups if you get them regulated down. Regulating the carburetor by itself is pretty easy to do. Aeromotive makes a regulator that works for this. It's a 2-stage or a step-down regulator, but God, they're 350 or 70 bucks, y'all. So, is what it is. So, what's the game plan here? I would show you, but it's actually up there in the car. So, we've got a hellacious nitrous system that we're probably going to put on this, and we're going to go out and play some. So, you know, Berger and Andrew, they're out there running all the time, having fun, and I want to get back out, you know, with the 65 and see what it can do. So that's where we're at with this. All right, we are back on the 65 today, and we're just waiting on our clutch alignment tool to show up. Andrew had to go pick one up from in town. We have lost ours. I don't know. I mean, look at this place, though. I mean, that's no surprise, right? We've lost all the bolts. I want to mention something to you guys because I think it could cause problems. When we index this, all we're doing is checking to make sure that the bell housing is not rolled one way or the other, and that it's uniform, right? Concentric or whatever you want to call it. So what happens is if you get debris and dirt or like a big chunk of something behind your block plate or either in front of it, in other words, in between the transmission, you can cause your bell housing when you bolt it up to slightly be canted one way or the other, right? And it will throw off the measurement by at least a few thousandths. I've seen it happen. You can as you're tightening the bell housing down to the last little bit, right before it stops, it's constantly moving and flexing and doing this. So what I'm trying to say is just make sure that everything is clean and make sure you get this thing tightened down or torqued down really good, meaning your bell housing and your transmission, because that basically affects run out. Oh, these TKXs are not light. There we go. Look at that, nicely packaged up, just like if it was brand spanking new. And that there, fellas, is Bangin' Bob Hanlon's signature. So I asked him to sign it for me. I thought that was pretty cool to have his signature on there. Some of it kind of got rubbed off, but I think that's awesome. So,
you ready?
Yep. There we go. That's what I'm saying, dude. I lost every bit of this. All of my bolts. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna buy a nice car for when we get a flat black.
I know. Well, that's it. She's back. Let's go ahead and try to bust her off. Maybe the battery cable's not too loose. Let's give it 3 pumps and see if she'll start. Exhaust is loose. While we're under here, I'm just gonna kind of look through everything. All looks pretty good, y'all. Shout out to Hanlon Motorsports, Mr. Bangin' Bob Hanlon, for rebuilding this transmission for me. I say rebuilding it, he did go through it and put a new couple pieces and parts in there. I'll show you guys exactly what all he changed out in it. But yeah, man, we should be pretty good now. The 65, hopefully, we're back on the road. And don't worry about this exhaust. I know it hangs low. I've got some new flow tubes over there from LMR. We're gonna put those in here and straighten all this up. All right, well look, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. But before I do, let me know down in the comment section below, do you like videos like this where basically it's more working? You know, I just put you guys up here on my hat like this and we just go work. I probably made you guys way too dizzy because I'm not used to it, but let me know what you guys think. Anyway, the Gray Ghost is done. As you can hear, it's raining outside. We'll take the car out in the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow. We'll give you guys some POV shots and we'll see how she does. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching.